apparently Tesla is doing this quite a bit. Yeah, you can't use certain features within the Tesla cars if you don't pay an additional subscription. And I'm like, first of all, don't get Teslas in the first place. Don't like the creator. But I don't know why I would pay that much for a car and then I have to pay more just to use it. That sounds ridiculous.
The Daily Humanspod podcast welcomes you. I am co-host Ashley.
And I am Nina. Welcome back.
Oh, we love you, Nina. Thank gosh that you're here. The universe is grateful. I'm grateful. Hello, Nina.
Hello, darling. How are you today? How are you doing, Ashley?
Oh, absolutely fabulous. November is kicking me in the ass, but it's fabulous time, darling. Fabulous.
Fabulous. It's marvelous on my end. In fact, I could not be better. I have been crying tears of joy and misery every day in between, but I am doing good. I'm doing good.
Oh, yes, you cry while sipping your tea. You hold your pinky up, you sip your tea, and you cry at the same time.
Seasons my tea, darling. It seasons my tea. Ain't nothing better than drinking your own tears. You know what I mean?
Changing the accent now. We're moving.
Yes.
We like the flow.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't even know how I'm talking.
Bilingual. We can do it all. Just bilingual with the accents, not the actually speaking a different language.
Yes.
I can only say, uno, due, tre. I'm counting in Italian.
Well, you know. Yeah, go ahead.
Off we dine.
Guten Tag is what that means. Guten Tag.
Tag the gluten. Tag the gluten.
Nah, we were talking about before how we want to revamp things. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We like new things, we like change. And so we thought it might be a swell idea to start talking in a country accent for like episodes or something like that, because ain't nothing better than country. If you know, you know. Ain't nothing better than country.
Yes. I don't know about that. I honestly think that posh sounds more appropriate in such times when we need to have strength in numbers. So honestly, I'm starting to think we should change it up a little bit.
Well, I don't know about the British, but I can say, would you like some water? Would you like some water, Ashley?
Come with that water. How do I say it without the Aussie ways? Water.
Water. I like some water.
Is it water? Is it water?
Water. Yeah.
How do you actually say it? How do you actually say it?
Water.
Water.
Yeah.
Water.
Water.
I can't even say it normally. Water. Water. I need some water. Water. I can't even say it just as a casual word, like hello. Mm-hmm. It sounds too like it's my first time learning this word. Water.
Water.
I've been saying it like that for such a long time. Everything else is foreign to me.
Yeah, I like it. I like it the Aussie way. Water. Yeah,
do it, Nina. You won't go back. You'll completely forget the way to say it. If you come this way, you won't remember anymore.
That's fine.
Like, actually, I can't remember how to say water anymore. I just keep saying water. Water.
Yeah.
Completely different accent hits just for that word for you.
Thank you.
We have this conversation in so many episodes. It's one of the most entertaining conversations to have.
Yeah.
Truly. If you ever come to Australia, literally just have some fun with it. When you go up to order something, be like, can I have a water? Water.
Water.
War, da. Da, da,
Yeah.
da, da, da. Yeah, da. D-A-H. Yeah. Just have some fun with it. They'll
Yeah.
get it. They'll know instantly what you're saying. You want water, cup or bottle? As I say, cup or bottle.
Ah, you get
You want it in
bottles
a
there?
bottle. Yeah. Yeah, you get
Okay.
bottles. Bottles of water. Yeah.
That's
You
nice.
want a bottle of water. You can have
Do
a
you
cup,
have
obviously, your choice, but bottle of water because it's cold. They give you
um,
table water, right? And it's
mhm.
fine, but it's not cold enough, you know? So ask for a bottle of water,
Yes.
all right? Just a little guidance there when you're
Yeah.
traveling to Australia
We
and
should
have some fun with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
we should actually do like a tour thing. We should offer a tour. We should make a separate channel, teach people how to speak certain words with an Australian accent, and then we should do like a group tour thing where we like come on
Mm.
over to have a tour of Australia and get some water. Water. Still don't got it down all the way, but water. It's something that we offer to everybody.
What is actually just popped up into my head? Influencers have some of them, especially the ones that travel, but even some YouTubers that I've come across, they
Mhm.
offer travel with them to certain
Yeah,
countries like Bali or Thailand, or
yeah,
you and I could do like a touring thing. Like if you come here to Australia, right, we will happily give you a tour.
yeah,
We will happily be your tour guides.
yeah.
That's just instantly what I thought about. I seriously would love to do that. I would love
Let's do
to,
that. Let's do that. But like,
yeah.
let's not do it in Germany, guys, because like the only place that I'd be guiding you to is the airport. So we could fly away together. We could fly away together. I'll pack my bags, and that'll be the tour. I'll tour for you the airport because that's the way I'm going. I'm going out.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Oh my gosh, let's do Nina's tour. But why is it only the airport? Well, I wonder why that is. You heard it
I
here.
love it.
Why that
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong. Germany can have beautiful sights, beautiful places. If you come to Germany, I would recommend Berlin and more so the bigger cities. But living and touring, or at least traveling, as we all know, are very, very different things. So I think Australia could be more exciting, though you do have to prepare for the birds and the spiders and what is it? The snakes. Yeah, the snakes. But that's fine. Like if you are from any place that has desert, I think you would be fine going to Australia. Like that'll just be nothing.
Then they actually welcome you when you get off the plane.
Oh,
Yeah, they're actually
really?
incredibly welcoming. Yeah, the snakes, the spiders, the
Oh,
birds, they're literally there like waving at you like a king and queen, like welcome. Welcome to our country, our humble abode. Yeah,
and the
the spiders make
koalas?
a web like Charlotte's Web, like welcome. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's creative.
Koalas. You said koala, right? Just to
Yeah.
clarify. No koala, my friend, because human beings are the reason why they are actually potentially going extinct. So we're
Oh
going to keep them
no.
safe and keep them protected. Yes, we are. We just love to, take away all the greatest species on this
Yeah.
planet. We have a knack for it.
Yeah.
Except for having a knack for helping humanity heal, we have a knack for helping it go extinct.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if it's not koalas, then we can do like kangaroos or something. Like they're cute. I'm sure they can wave or something.
They deserve their space as well.
Yeah.
They cop a lot too.
Yeah, I've heard. I've heard. A lot of people don't like
They
them.
do.
That's
They're
too
pets
bad.
and look, in my opinion, we're not the only species on the planet, so we're going to have to learn
Right.
how to share with the other species on the planet. And to think that we should rule the world will be our demise.
100%.
We're trying to kill off things that we need and that are a part of the ecosystem to continually build houses and take over land and to continue profiting and all that kind of crap. And it's
Yeah.
like, without the spiders, we would be overrun by flies. Flies would absolutely dominate.
Mm-hmm.
Without certain insects and animals, the ecosystem wouldn't be cycling the way that it does. So my opinion, which I will have, we need them as much as we need snakes and spiders. I'm not going to say it for mosquitoes because I have absolutely no idea why they exist, and it doesn't make sense to me. They just basically blood transfusions without their
Yeah.
consent. There's
Yeah.
no form that you signed, and they
Yeah.
take your blood. Like, are you taking a blood clot? Like, are you helping me or something? No. So they're helping. They just exist to have their fun, like vampires, little tiny vampires that we don't like. Mosquitoes are one of those insects where I'm like, I don't understand why you exist. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? Especially here, they're annoying.
Yeah.
They are annoying here. Annoying.
What was I made for? What was I
Imagine
made for?
the buzz sound of a mosquito singing that song. Oh wait, I'm laughing.
Oh,
Is she looking up?
no.
So this is Mila, everyone. One of my
Hello,
puppies.
Mila.
Does not, yeah. She's saying, hello, it's me. I was wondering, I'm kidding. She doesn't really like people laughing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big trigger for her. She will run out of the room or she'll judge you. For some reason, she doesn't like laughing. So
She'll
that's why
judge you.
yeah. When I'm laughing, she's literally sitting in the corner staring at me and she doesn't blink. She just stares at me. And I honestly think that she's judging me. When other people are laughing, I catch her just glaring at them. She just sits there and looks at them like, what are you to be happy about? Why are you laughing? I hate your laugh. I just imagine what she's possibly saying.
Yeah.
And they apparently that study came out where dogs do judge you.
Mm-hmm.
They do
Yeah.
apparently. So all I'm thinking about is she's not even subtle with it. You can tell she's a judge of judging. I'm gonna take her to some kind of like counseling service to help with her judging because she does it a lot. I love her. She's amazing. She really is. But
Mm-hmm.
we need laughter. I said this to her. I was like, I know you for some reason have your issues with it, and I don't know the reason, but you have to know that I need laughter because if I'm not laughing, I'm crying. And if that's consistently happening, then there's going to be a big problem. So I need to laugh. Let me laugh. But I love her. She's a cute little fluff ball.
Mm-hmm.
Sleepy little fluffy is sleeping. So I can't
She's
laugh.
adorable.
If there's something funny, I'm just going to have to hold it in and like suppress it. And then
I'll
afterwards, I'll
laugh for
just
you.
laugh like Santa Claus. Release it.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love it. I love that. I'll laugh for you. No worries. But
Made me cry. Like my eyes started watering when I was holding it in.
oh, no, I love that. I think it's so curious how animals just are and how they interact with us, and I will never get over the fact that there are people walking this earth thinking that animals don't have emotions and thoughts. Even with dogs, it's I often wonder what Momo is dreaming because I have a dog as well, and she never barks in real life. She never barks. She doesn't really make any noises. She grunts sometimes when she wants something and she's being thick-headed, but that's about it. But in her dreams, she'll bark and she'll whine and she'll like do all these. She emotes in ways she doesn't in her waking life. So I'm always curious what she dreams, and apparently. I mean, I would love to have more of an expansion on this because I want to know more. But scientists have said that a lot of dogs dream about their owners. And so I'm like, is she dreaming that we're playing right now?
I think she's dreaming about everything that she wants to say but doesn't say it. So instead she grunts, but in her dream it gives her the opportunity to say everything that she
Yes.
wants to say. So she does all of it at once. Barks, grunts, moans, the whole thing. The whole thing.
Yeah, no. But Moa has been quite clingy with me recently. Like she'll follow me everywhere. She'll look at me. She'll want hugs. She'll like push her head into my leg, or but if I'm sitting on the floor, into me. And I'm just like, I love it. I wish I could carry you, because Momo's the type of dog. She's a small dog. She doesn't like to be carried.
Oh,
She gets very triggered about that. But like, I just want to squeeze you and walk around with you all day long, just like a bag. Just this is my mama. Hello. I don't know if you've seen it on TikTok, but there's this woman that has this little tiny chihuahua, and she puts it in like this wrap. She'll put like a bathrobe on, and she'll have the dog by her chest, and the dog will be like tucked in, and she'll just walk around with the dog's head like looking out from the
so
bathrobe.
cute.
And I love it. I wish I
That's so
could do
cute.
that. Yeah.
I can imagine Momo and she's judging you for this and she's like, why? Why, mother? Why? There's
Yeah,
a
she would
photo
hate
that
it.
Nina sent me. She would. Nina sent me a photo of Momo. She'd come around the corner and she's basically, it looks like she's just still staring into Nina's soul. Like, I definitely got the energy that she was just judging whatever was going on. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It was, I can't get that photo out of my head. I want it on a t-shirt. I need it on a t-shirt. It's the greatest judgy look I've ever seen. It definitely tops my dogs. It tops Mila in that. Like, she is the queen of, I am absolutely judging what you're doing right now, mother. I don't
Yeah.
know why you're doing it. I love the fact that she grunts when she wants something. So if she wants
Mhm.
something, I just pictured it, her going, like she wants a treat
Yeah.
from me. You're like, no. And she's just like, like I
Yeah.
just imagine it like a kid, like crosses her arms and is like, I'm mad. I'm real mad.
Oh,
It's so
it's
cute.
hilarious. Yeah.
I want to
And she'll
squeeze
get
it too.
louder. She'll get louder too. But if you
Oh
keep
my
denying her,
gosh.
it'll go from like to like It's really funny.
She's practicing harmony. She's like, how loud can I really get to get what I want? Level 1, level 2, level 3. Dogs are smart.
Yeah.
They're smart. They know what they're doing and they win. I don't apologize when people say, you spoil your dogs. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and what's your point? I don't know if you know this, but they don't live as long as what I do. So why wouldn't I give them the best life possible? I spoil them as much as I possibly can. So I'll do what I please.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's definitely been a negative connotation on spoiling your dogs, but I don't see it. I will spoil her until
Get
the
it.
ends of the earth, like in different
Mm-hmm.
countries. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if this exists in Australia. It certainly does not here, but I wish it would, because I would go this far. I would go to this level where I've traveled a bit, right? And I've just seen people and their dogs, and in certain countries they have, instead of baby carriages, they have like dog carriages, so they can just walk their dog in a little carriage. And I'm like, oh my god,
Seen
that's so
that. I've seen that. Yeah.
good. I love it. Oh,
Cute. It's very cute.
yeah,
Let's love dogs. They're so beautiful. Love
they
dogs.
are. Actually, speaking of TikTok, we actually wanted to come on today and talk about maybe a few various different topics, have like segments. Oh yeah, that's what we wanted to have today. We wanted to have segments and talk about a few different things that's been coming across our feed and sharing it with you guys. What do you think about that, Ashley?
Ended with the segment. I love art. Do you want to know the
That
name of our segment?
why?
The collections of TikTok. yeah, the things that we've saved to talk about here with y'all today. Yeah, 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 yeah. Throw it up in the air. Say it like you just don't care. Let me hear you say, oh. Do, do, do,
Oh,
do, do.
fireworks going off.
Silent fireworks, though, because we have a dog in presence. Yeah,
Of
I
course.
actually don't
Yes.
give a flying crap about fireworks. When New Year's Eve came one time and they were going off all around, the dogs are just like
Mhm.
in dream world, sleeping soundly.
Nice.
Like they were fully out. They were just like, we don't care, we're good, we're fine, whatever. Yeah, they were just sleeping soundly.
I
Pluto, on
love
the other
that.
hand, was his head was like left, right. Where's this coming from? What's happening? Who doing it? What is this? He was really crapping a crap. Like he was losing
Yeah.
it. But I can
Same with
imagine what it
Momo.
would sound like on their ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Momo as well, it would too.
I hate fireworks. Honestly, I just wish we could do something different because I can't imagine how many more animals are just affected by it. And I can't tell you how many stories I've heard of people doing terrible things. But anyway,
Mm.
Momo hates fireworks. She gets very scared. She starts panting, shaking, all of it. And then it takes like until probably, because people don't just do fireworks at New Year's. No, they do it the whole month. They do it the whole January, don't they? And so it's definitely hard on her.
Oh,
But
it's a
alas,
long time.
welcome
I
to
don't like to
Germany.
spoil anyone's fun. I really don't because I think adults need more fun.
Mhm.
Maybe a month is a bit progressive. And you can celebrate, please do. But a whole month of fireworks, might be pushing it just a little bit, or a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Whatever. But like something that we totally wanted to like talk to you guys about is, you know me, if I may speak about myself for a second. I lived in America for a long time and I totally love like movies. Like movies are like totally my thing. And music as well.
Oh,
I
yes,
know, right? I
I
know.
love it. Oh my God, you're like so retro. I
I
totally love
know.
it.
I know. I love retro. Like I'm so old, like you wouldn't even believe. But like I totally
I love
collect
it.
movies. I collect movies and I collect CDs. And I think a lot of the time, like right now with the conversation going on, let me actually speak like a normal person. With the conversation going on right now, is how we're at the mercy of subscription services. Boo. And listen, I have a few words to say. A lot of the discussion, I don't know if you want to chime in on this as well, Ash, is how everything is being optimized. Everything is becoming a subscription service. Cars, heating in cars, like the seat heating. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, that getting subscriptionized, if that's a word, and printer ink and all these stuff. And then people are starting to freak out because rightfully so, by the way, but it's just I'm at the point where I'm like, guys, if you want music, if you want movies, buy it. It's available. Books are here. They're also available until we don't have it anymore, then we can freak out. But the more we invest in that, the more we maintain what we have. And I know we've talked about it before, Ash, where you were like, I have the Mary Kate and Ashley DVDs, like I think we talked about this last year during Christmas or something. And I just love that feeling of being able to go back and watch something that we always loved. And you don't really
Yeah.
necessarily have that with subscription services all the time. You know, they bring old movies up, but sometimes we don't find what we're looking for. And it does actually get quite problematic when things either don't get produced in DVD or Blu ray or whatever you consume form anymore, or it's so old that it either doesn't get translated from VHS or DVD into Blu-ray, or it's just not possible to find. I've definitely been on the spectrum of all of these things, but what are your thoughts on subscription services, card, all of it? What is your take, Ash?
this is a video I saved in the collections of TikTok. I always save stuff for the podcast to talk about. And this video came up of the future of cars being subscriptions. So heated seats, remote start key fobs, whatever that is. Just sort of the comforts of your car, it being a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription. And it infuriated me. It infuriated me because what? For starters, people in the comment section were saying things like, so what, we're going to have to pay a monthly subscription for brakes to use our brakes? The video was also talking about how we're looking at a future where we don't own anything, where everything is for rent.
Yeah.
Everything is subscription. And that to me is just it just doesn't resemble human for me. That's the way that I take this. So it annoys me. It actually annoys me how you can get as far as to buy your own car and then for companies to say, how can we make more money? Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's just greed. How can we make more money? Okay, let's create subscriptions in the car that they've brought that you pay 50 grand for, 30 grand, 20 grand. You pay that much just to pay on top subscriptions when you also have rego to pay for and car insurance and petrol. That's the greed keys me off.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my brain around being a human being that wants to charge people more and sits down in a meeting and has a conversation with all the other board members and says, how can we make more money? Even though we have millions upon millions of dollars, how can we make more? Expanding your business in creativity, I think, is valid, but expanding it to continue more profit when society literally is a profit margin and everything is what it feels like, but also is that. It's just so greedy, so greedy. Netflix getting to a point of being like, nobody can share with anyone else. No, you pay for your own. Are you okay? Are you okay? Let me guess. You weren't able to afford the yacht anymore. So you thought, let's make sure no one shares the screens with their family or friends and everyone gets a subscription. Everyone needs a subscription. That was the problem, wasn't it? I'm making an assumption because I don't know, but essentially, what was the point of that? What valid reason could you give to control who uses someone else's account? If I wanted my family to use my account so they don't pay for one, what is it your business? It's not your business. And I highly doubt that you are at such a loss that your yacht is affected. All the yachts that all the members of the board get are affected. I don't know if it says on Google what Netflix makes. Have you ever
The
looked it up?
network?
Prime.
No.
As of November 2024, Netflix has a market cap of 544.86 billion. This makes Netflix the world's 27th most valuable company according to data. So you're making in the billions, and you thought to yourself, let's stop people from sharing an account and make sure that they have their own. And that's not greed. And then also, let's talk about the ads. Let's talk about the ads. Let's do that. Let's talk about how much ads are so pushed more than they ever have been that you can't even finish a TikTok video without an ad slamming you in the face.
Yeah.
The irritation over the constant push of profit and advertisement is
Yeah.
has really pissed me off more than ever. And I just think to myself, this is just so disconnected. This is so disconnected. This is so inhumane. They really don't give a crap about you. They just give a crap that they're continuing their billions of billion-dollar profit of you could literally help so many. I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. I can't imagine. How do you have that much money and not have? How do you ever have that much money and still need more? How do you have that much and still need more? And what do you do for society with that money? Oh, we pay our workers. Oh, I'm okay. Just to say this, I'm pretty sure that's what you meant to do. Just in case that's what you're saying, right? You're meant to pay your
Yeah.
workers, but
Not enough, by the way. You're not paying them enough.
I doubt it enough. Yeah, that's my annoyance on it is if they were to do that for cars, just to bring that back to that. Um, I don't know how I'd feel if I would even want to buy a car because what would be the point knowing that on top of rego and everything that I said, there would be monthly or yearly fees to have comfort. I can't. I'm going to get into it. It's frustrating me.
No, I agree.
Having to pay. I'm starting. Let me start here first, and then I swear I'll let you talk. I just need to get this out of my system. Netflix lowest price that they offer comes with ads, right? So that is discomfort, right? They'll say to you, you want no ads, you have to pay more. If you want comfort on a flight, how much do you have to pay to have comfort on a flight? If you want comfort in your car, you have to pay to have that comfort. Something that is a human right, which is for people to have comfort, because why the hell not, is being controlled by other human beings that have the privilege of experiencing that consistently and want more, and it's never enough. It dumbfounds me that this exists, that people are actually like this, that they're doing everything possible to make you pay for comfort, to make you pay to take the easier route per se, because watching ads is a pain in the ass. Watching consistent amount of ads when you're watching a movie is a kicker. We watched Bridgerton season 1 and we had to wait for the ads to come. And then when the ads would happen, they would take you out of Bridgerton. So we'd have to keep going through back to it. Remember that?
Yeah.
They make it uncomfortable. So you pay for the comfortable.
Yeah.
And that I cannot wrap my head around that. It's disgusting in my opinion.
It is. Absolutely. I have a lot to say about all of this. And that is, there was an economic forum going on where all of the business people, wealthiest people in the world get together. And I don't remember what year this was. I would say it was a few years back, but they had this plan to essentially get rid of ownership towards anything and everything. Have people rent, have people borrow, have people go to a non-ownership civilization society to make them quote unquote happier or quote unquote less attached to things, which is hilarious because obviously you're utilizing something that is meant for freedom from oppression towards as a gain to oppress. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be attached to things over your own self or attached to things bigger. How can I frame this? To the extent where you sacrifice yourself in a negative way. However, and this is something I really wanted to say, I am very much about personally on a right now moving. I'm in the process of it. I'm dismantling my life and starting anew. And with that comes letting go of things. Obviously, you can't travel with furniture. That would be a very interesting plane ride. But I mean, you can ship it, but that's not my vibe. So I've been very much within this subject for the last few weeks now of like, I want to have things. I like having certain things, but I don't want to be attached to them. In which case, I read this in a book recently and I thought this was beautiful. Detachment is not that you should own nothing, but that nothing should own you. So when we go to that definition of things, right? You may not be owned by things anymore, but you certainly are owned by people that you don't even know who are making these laws to take away your right to own things. And I think that that is disgusting. When it comes to cars, Mercedes had, I don't know if this was worldwide because I definitely didn't hear about this here, but in the States, in the US, they had this idea, quote unquote idea, to make people subscribe. I think it was $1,200 a month, a year, sorry, $1,200 a year to subscribe to a service that would allow them to accelerate faster and drive faster in their cars. And people had a fit. And obviously they scrapped it because they got backlash. But I'm like, they will literally try anything to rob you of the things that you buy, especially when you buy a car. Right. I'm the type of person, I probably will never buy a new car because I'm just not into them. I like older cars more, but new cars or cars that you buy off of a dealership per se, you pay this massive amount of fees, taxes, all of that to have everything that is included in the car. So if they add a subscription fee on top of that, they're literally robbing you because you already paid for everything that's in the car. For them to say,
Right.
well, if you want warm seats in winter, you got to pay $5 a month. And apparently Tesla is doing this quite a bit. Yeah, you can't use certain features within the Tesla cars if you don't pay an additional subscription. And I'm like, first of all, don't get Teslas in the first place. Don't like the creator. But I don't know why I would pay that much for a car and then I have to pay more just to use it. That sounds ridiculous. I've had this argument for years, and you will hear me talk about it for years until it gets changed back with laptops. We used to have laptops with CD-ROM drives in them. Now they're no longer in them. And when you go to MacBook, there's a lot of features that aren't a part of what used to be within laptops. And that's where it started for me. It's continuing now with cars. It's continuing with subscription services. And by the way, Netflix, if nobody has told you, which I find it very hard to believe, I also have to speak about Prime for a second. This is going to be a rant. I apologize. No. Netflix. Hey, you're not making as not, well, you make a lot of money, but you're not making enough as you used to because the content you have on it is crap. If you were to actually have content that's good or more routinely added to whatever you already have on the platform, then maybe more people would subscribe and didn't have to share. Because what's the purpose of having every single family member subscribe independently as their own person when there's just crap on the platform and you just push reality TV shows or whatever it is? And I get it. A lot of people love reality TV shows. If you're a lover of reality TV shows, that's all for you. Have diversity, right? But if it's too much of one thing, a lot of other people get left out. So I digress. A lot of people got laid off of Netflix, I think last year. The movie industry is recovering, I would say, from a massive loss over the last few years within the industry itself, and then with everything happening on a worldwide scale. But with Prime, Ashley, would you like to be infuriated? Would you like to be infuriated?
I already am. Go ahead, my friend. But I might know what you're going to say.
So this is a thing here now as well. It used to just be in the States when I originally saw it. So you know how Prime just is. And Amazon's like, hey guys, we have like at the beginning, hey guys, we have like this video streaming service. And if you subscribe to Prime, which was based on having free shipping, then you can also use these services over here and music and all this other stuff. So that was really cool. cool, reach out, branch out, Amazon. That's fine. You go, girl. But like now you have Prime, and then they're like, "Ah, guys, we have such a great idea. We're going to add channels. And in these channels, you can subscribe to them. And then you can have more things that you didn't have before. I know you guys need to pay a lot for movies that are new because we don't include that in the Prime membership. New movies coming in, you just kind of have to rent or buy those individually. Sorry about that, but business. But like now you can have the option of channels, and now, beautiful. They had the pleasant, beautiful idea to not only I guess there's a fee that you can pay to Prime that will not let you see ads. And we'll have more access to more things, more content from what I've heard. I haven't done this, so I can't I can't speak of personal experiences, but apparently a person has done this. They paid Prime to have more access and less ads, which I think is disgusting on a paid service anyway to have ads. But alas, she paid it because the promise was everything would be free of ads on Prime if you pay this fee. Well, this individual went on Prime and realized that that's not the case. So they called and they're like, "Hey, Amazon, I paid this fee to have no ads, but I'm still seeing ads." And they're like, "Oh, no, honey, you misunderstood. It's only for Prime originals. Everything else will continue to have ads." I just think it's nasty. It's gross, and
What of that?
I don't know. I think I had this thought in my head, and this is why I was laughing earlier as Ashley was talking of like this billionaire on a yacht. And like, I got it. My seat is a little bit too uncomfortable. You know who I'm going to take it out on? Everybody who's not signing up to Amazon individually. No. They have to sign up individually. That's how I'm going to make my seat on my yacht a lot more comfortable. I actually did not know Netflix made this much money because I thought they were actually going down in revenue from everything that I've heard, but billions. And I understand this ranges across countries and many different sections and people involved, but billions. And when it comes to Netflix anyway, like why is everything 8 episodes? But anyway, I digress. It's just, it's ridiculous. There's so much here where it's like Netflix was based on the premise that you sign up for it and there are no ads. And now the base level, you have ads. The second level, it's not as good quality. So you have to pay the maximum fee to get the best quality and no ads. And I think that that's disgusting. Oh, gross.
It's not like the ads and the subscription stuff is the issue. That's the issue.
Yeah.
It's a level of greed that is inhumane.
Yeah.
And they see it as harmless. It's not harmless because where you start building these foundations is where other people that are looking for profit also go towards. And they basically take everything that is possible to pull revenue from and they use it. They find everything that is possible to make money. Yeah. We're talking about human beings, the psychology of some, especially if they're in that kind of survival mode where they don't want it to end, will keep creating ideas to keep it going, to keep their life funded for their own survival, no matter the cost to humanity. I don't know them, but human beings and the level of greed and the complex layers of that, hoarding money is a society issue. Clearly, you can see it. It's the same with, gosh, if we went down that road, which we won't, I'm just going to mention it, but I could really have at it with insurance companies.
Oh, yeah.
I could have at it with a lot of things. Yeah. Even recently, I heard a story, just quickly to explain, that my great-grandmother paid for private health insurance. She was in hospital for 2 weeks, right? They wouldn't cover her because she stayed longer than what they anticipated. because she
Right.
had to stay longer. It's like, sorry, ma'am, because you were extra sick than what we thought you'd be, we can't cover you.
Yeah.
When I was hearing that story, I thought anyone that sits there and goes, well, that makes sense. There's not one part of that that makes sense. You, when you're laying in hospital, like my other nan, she got pneumonia. So she actually got better and then got pneumonia. Who would have called that? You never
Right.
know what's going to happen. So what kind of control are you trying to place? It's control as well. We get to control who has a subscription. We get to control what they see. So they're constantly going to see ads because we get the say.
Mhm.
We're going to push ads because that makes us money. Because of course it makes them money to showcase ads. I mean, even like what Nina's saying, if you pay the $2.99 to remove ads of Prime, especially here, they play an ad still at the start. Because my brother did
Oh,
the free trial and they still played an ad at the start. And he's like,
wow.
you can skip it, right? But the fact that you're still playing an ad, so what? $2.99 to remove ads, you still play it. Why? Because oh no, that revenue that we lose from not playing an ad during an adless subscription, oh no, the cost. I'll have to take out one of my gold bricks from my house to help me pay for everything.
Yeah.
This is going to lead us into the next. What else did we save in our TikTok collection? This is actually a good one to talk about as well. Let's talk about you, Instagram.
Yes.
Let's talk about what
Thank
you've
you.
been doing. Let's talk about what you've been doing. Yeah. So, this is a video I saved a while ago, and I'm going to announce it, and then Nina, the wisdom, will share her wisdom. Where was it? Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm looking at a different video because I did save a video about a lady talking about how her printer, everything is subscription. So you buy the
Yeah.
printer and
Yeah.
then everything is subscription. Yeah, I
Well,
saved that video too.
actually, that's a bit different. That's HP, and I have HP, so I can talk about this. You can still use the normal ink. However, if you have, let's say, you printed about halfway through whatever is in the ink cartridge, right? If you put it in and you only print half the amount, and then you subscribe to, let's say, the online service, you're like, oh, this is going to run out soon. Let me sign up for the online thing because it might be more convenient. You will not be able to use that ink cartridge anymore. They dismantle it. They will not let you use it. If you buy a new one from HP that costs 30, I guess in the States, $30, $40, half the amount of the printer, then you can use it again.
HP, you've done it again. Great job. You're saved. You're saved from poverty. Congratulations. Even
Yeah.
Netflix, you too, you saved yourself from such a dire experience of poverty. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
legends. Please keep squeezing us all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly will cancel your ass. I really do want to. Um okay, so the video is this post was about Instagram deliberately blurring
Yeah.
people's photos, right? And the company apparently admitted this. They save the best video quality for the most popular content. The head of Instagram recently confirmed the site reduced the quality of posts that get less engagement. If the number of watches increases, Instagram will re-render the clip to make it look better.
So, to all these creatives out there trying to, I mean, we all know as creatives, Instagram ain't pushing your shit unless you pay for it, by the way. But and that's for every platform. No, but if you're out there as a beginner, struggling, trying to get stuff out, and you're like, why is the algorithm not favoring me? this is yet another stab at you of like, we're not going to promote your content unless you're like a billion followers, unless you have these many likes. I think it's disgusting. Like, how dare you? First of all, your platform is shit anyway since Mark Zuckerberg bought it, since it became part of Meta. But then, like, you take the people that are left, you force them to either adhere to selling their data to AI bots or they have to pay, and then you reduce the quality of the content they can post. I mean, alienate your audience even more. Why don't you?
Control.
Yeah.
They want to be able to control who gets seen.
Yeah.
Like Vine. When Vine was happening, people were being seen for their content, and it was relatively easy. And I'm making an assumption, obviously. For YouTubers, obviously they had their difficulties, but it was still easier to push you through the algorithm. Now, because of the way that things have gone, and now there's TikTok awards, and now there's countless of creators that are on board. Of course, in the human experience with human beings, they think we're going to take this and control who gets seen, who becomes an influencer, who becomes popular. It's just human control, the need to do so. It's like a game. It honestly
Yeah.
feels like they're playing a game.
They want to be paid for advertising you on their platform when you get famous. They're like, we want a piece of your success.
Yeah. We want the praise for being the ones that gave you that success, and we chose that for you. So the mind makers and the game makers, they are that essentially. And you know what? We post, we're on it, obviously, but I refuse to allow numbers to participate in the game of allowing numbers to determine worth and value. To play that kind of game of, oh, well, if I'm not seen, that I'm not valued. We're not valued. Our podcast isn't valued. We don't play the game. We don't want to play the game. It is honestly inhumane. It's ridiculous. And it completely eradicates that connection to human, to have people going against each other, and for you trying to be the game maker and dictate who should be seen and who shouldn't, really. Because if you really think about it, and I think I said this to you and Jay, if you allow people to go through the algorithm and you give people a chance, don't control it, because whatever's meant to happen will happen. Whatever will unfold will unfold. People's journeys are not meant for the control of others. They're meant to be experienced by the person experiencing them, however that's meant to go. Some people have started YouTube and they've stopped. Some people have started content creating and then they've realized this is not what they want a few years later, because life moves you and changes you and shifts. People make decisions to do a career and then change their mind 5 years later, 10 years later, even a year later. You're trying to control something that doesn't need your control. Look at the countries that are losing their mind over the birth rates. So now they're trying to find ways to control. You hear what I'm saying? They're trying to find ways to control and enforce women to have children. Human beings really need to be checked. No one should have that kind of power. And that's with social media. That's with anything. No one, in my opinion, should ever come into a leader role with the intention of control. That to me is inhumane. So just to say this, for a last thing for me, numbers do not determine your human existence as much as society has perpetuated it. Society has perpetuated it for a reason. Your number sells. Your number is productivity. Your number keeps the game flowing for the people that want to continually win. Your number that they give you actually means nothing. It means nothing. Your worth and value is yours. Don't give it to them. Instagram used to be great and it no longer is because they're participating in the crap. So let's not give them that kind of attention. They honestly don't deserve it. I'm not saying you need to delete your account, but think of it like, if you desire to, obviously, post for the fun of it if you want to bring fun back into it, because why not? Don't post for the views, post for the fun. And I know if you're a content creator, it's a different circumstance. I understand. But if you're someone that doesn't care or wants to relinquish the care factor of posting, post for what you desire, post for what you love, post for the thrills of what it gives you. To look at your Instagram and go, oh my gosh, a year ago I went to Thailand. Look at these photos. Post for your joy, post for your desires, for your thrill, not for their game.
I love that. That was beautiful. And I have so much to say. First of all, the internet, World Wide Web, was created for it to be free for all, for everybody to come together as a community and be able to talk to each other, like explore different things. And then slowly but surely over the years, the internet has become corporate. Google, all these things, owning things. I don't know if you've heard of this, Ashley, that Google has made a deal with Apple so that they are the first and the only pre-installed browser that you have on your phone, so you can't so Google doesn't essentially have competition. You actually have to go out of your own way to download a different browser outside of Safari. Then also, as we know, all companies, all major, well, maybe not all, but I think majority of major companies, major conglomerates do this, where they try to buy out any newer small companies with better ideas. They try to buy those ideas and buy them out, so they buy out their competition. Or they just dwell them into nothingness by deleting their existence off of the internet, which goes into censorship and social media and all these other beautiful things that are supposed to be free for people to be in community. That's what social media was predicated on, being in community, social media. But it's become more of a rhetoric for selling things and to pushing their own narrative, as Ashley has said. But on top of that, while I do believe some form of precaution does have to happen with online platforms and what gets pushed out there are people that are hired. I'm not quite sure of the name of this certain position. It's escaping my mind currently, but there are people that are hired by social media companies to do screenings of content before it comes up, to see if it's harmful, to see if it's endangering anything or anybody. And these people, this has come across my search feed yesterday, where there's a man in South Africa that received PTSD from all the things he's had to screen that shouldn't be on the internet.
I think I saw that video.
Yeah, terrible, violent things that, I don't even want to repeat on here. But he received PTSD and the company would not pay for his therapy. And I was just like, there we go.
How could you?
Yeah.
Like, how could you make, I can't wrap my head around it. I know, but I can't wrap my head around how you could do that.
Yeah.
You have people that are sitting there watching day to day heinous human behavior beyond, and you think, oh, they're not going to need some sort of support. How how is this legal? How is this legal? Even counselors need support.
Yeah.
Psychiatrists, psychologists need their own.
Yeah.
Social workers. How can a company that's asking you to go through all these videos that are showcasing murder? Because I even came across a documentary talking about how they were talking about some of the video content that they've come across, beheadings, if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. How do you not offer support extensive support for someone witnessing something like that. It's just so inhumane. Like, you must be
Right.
so disconnected from human to own a company and to do that. I can't fathom it.
And I bet you there are people, Ash, I bet you there are people that are like, well, you knew what this position was before you got it. Well,
Please.
you got paid well.
Do you say that to the people in America that have gone through, gunfire? When you have to go to school and you go to your job, are you going to say that to them, that you chose that job, you chose to go to school? That's a bullshit analogy to justify inhumanity.
Right.
You chose this. No, no one chooses the heinous experiences. They choose the experience.
Yeah.
The other stuff is a choice that human
Yeah.
beings make. You choose not to pay your employees properly. You choose to go down the route of inhumanity. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine owning a company and not supporting the people that are helping this company to run,
Right.
because it's everyone. It's everyone that helps a company to run. Underpay staff. How do you do that?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that? You must be completely disconnected from self to ever choose that road.
Mm.
Like, it's like Ebenezer a Scrooge. You know what? For this Christmas, I have a wish for those three ghosts to visit all those people and to give them a rude awakening like they did for Ebenezer Scrooge. He hoarded his money through his own survival, his own fears, and he got shown something that terrified him enough to change.
Yeah.
That is such a depiction of some people, like what it feels like a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
They hoard. It's hoarding. How do you have billions of dollars? How do you have that in this economy? Hoarding. It's
Yeah.
hoarding. Oh, I
And
do
see,
not stand injustice.
See, that's the thing. It's not even that you can't be successful. If you get to a point where you get to that level, right? You make that much money, that's fine. But like, how are you using it? Because you see so many finance, tech guys, all these people like, you got to do this and this and this, and you follow this plan and get successful. Being successful is great. If that's what you want, if that's what you're striving for, that's awesome. But if you're at the top 1% echelon of life. And by the way, can I just also say, these people, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, all these people, they're not the richest men on earth. There are people who are richer than that. People who have so much money, you can't even conceptualize it into numerical form because it's just endless. And if you have that much money, why can't you put it at the very least again into your company and the people who are in it? Like, if people are always, oh, I need to reinvest in my company, yeah, reinvest. And then also the people who are working for you, like, I just don't get it.
Exactly.
And then you have people who become like these gurus. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention their names, I already have, but there's more. That are like the faces of these brands, these faces of these like super successful brands and whatnot. And not only do they shove under the table or under the rug all the problems within whatever they have created, but they also don't shine the light on all of the people that they've robbed that contributed to the success of that one individual. Because I'm going to say it, Steve Jobs created Apple, great. He wasn't the one who was building the phones. He wasn't the ones who were making up the plans of how to do it. Those are people in the background. Do you think they ever got the recognition that they deserved or the funds or whatever? No, he died as a man who couldn't relate or give money or be supportive or loving to his own family members. And like, I'm sorry, but to me personally, that seems more of a, like, I truly pity really rich people And that may sound like an ego thing, but I truly, at the bottom of my heart and soul, I pity them, because so many of them are so detached from what is actually real in life. They think money and numbers and statistics and optimizing how much you get,
Yeah.
and the turnover, all of that is what is reality, and it's not. Yes, a lot of people may hang on the success of a company or the failure of one. I'm not going to denounce that. However, if you put that as your main priority in life, you in fact are the most poor person on this earth. It's not the person that actually struggles with monetary, because money, I mean, I don't have money near me, but money is paper. It's a concept. It's not reality. It's a form of torture that people have invented for themselves, maybe not at its origin, but definitely it has become such. And so if you revolve your entire life around a piece of paper and how much you have it and how many people you are followed by and who thinks you're influential and all this stuff, and not actually invested in the real things that matter, like family, love, in all its forms, in a various, like, spread out form, like, you're actually missing life. Yeah, you're on your private jet. By the way, can I just say, Jeff Bezos, I don't know if I said this before, I'm just going to throw them all under the bus this episode. He, on his private jet alone, emits more CO2 and destructive chemicals for climate change than all of his Amazon workers, employees. And I know Jeff Bezos has sold some of the rights of Amazon, so I'm not quite sure if I can call him the owner, but he definitely is the creator. And if you can emit more as one human being, the emissions that are triggering climate change and all the bullshit that's going on with that, than an entire company that's global, I just think that there's something wrong with that. But yes, alas, I will just leave that there for you guys to chew on.
Yeah. I totally agree to build a company, build your career, not on the backs of other human beings.
Yeah.
If I were to have a business, it wouldn't just be, yes, it'd be my creation, but the people that are helping me to sustain that business, we're a team. We are a team to move this business or this career, whatever it is, down a pathway of creativity and flow and enjoyment and discovery and learning. That's my opinion, yes. But to have a business that's run by human beings that are helping you, move that business forward, and to underpay them, to not care about work, health, and safety, to not allow them to leave work for for their sick child, to not give them paid maternity leave. Honestly, lately, it honestly feels like there is so much greed that is overpowering
Yeah.
compassion and sharing and giving. It honestly feels like that. It feels like profit over human. And I feel like I'm seeing it in so many different angles, and I'm hearing so many stories. I even saw a video of a lady in a hospital bed tapping her card in America
Yes.
on an she was
On a card reader.
Yes.
It was attached to the bed.
The medical system promotes this care factor. They promote a care factor, but in my opinion, you're going to the bed of a patient, asking them to pay while they're laying there trying to recover from whatever they're recovering from. And you don't see that as inhumanity, but you have the audacity to act like you have a care factor towards human beings. The health system is absolutely broken. That's so broken to me, that you value money that much over the life of human beings, making sure that everything is paid for. Doesn't matter what that person's going through in that moment, as long as everything's paid for.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, oh my gosh.
It's disgusting.
Shall
Yeah.
we do one more?
Yeah, please.
Let's see here. Okay. This is going to be a really interesting topic because Nina has just, when I sent her this video, she was shocked by it. And that's something I definitely want to bring to you that I saved in my collection. Ashley's collection will be the segment. So this TikTok video that I found was the most toxic children's books. And the book that was on the chopping block was The Rainbow Fish. And if you know what that book is, you know. And the reason why this book was named the most toxic is because if you actually reread the book, right, in the shortest version possible, a fish comes to the rainbow fish, the main character, and wants one of his scales. He says no. So that small fish proceeds to go to all the other fish and badmouth rainbow fish and say he's a really bad person. No one talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
So then rainbow fish is wondering why no one is talking to him and ignoring him. And then that small fish comes along again and says, I want one of your shiny scales. And the rainbow fish goes, okay, and gives him one. And then all these other fish come to rainbow fish and want his shiny scales, and he gives it all to them. And then at the end of the book, right, he's only left with one because he has given all of him to everyone else. Something that he loved dearly about himself, having these shiny scales, gave all of them to everyone else because they demanded it. And when he didn't, they were furious and decided to isolate him from the pack. And when I saw this video and was literally playing it, reading it, I was like, the whole time, I had no idea. My child self had no idea. I just thought this was a really nice book about giving, and what a beautiful fish. And oh, look, he shared his scales with the others. But no, it wasn't actually the case. What did you feel when you were sent this video?
I am still somewhat in shock, to be completely honest, because I'm having like that Mandela effect moment where it's like, I know I didn't read this, but I know the Rainbow Fish is a series. So I'm wondering if the book I read was a little bit different or if it was reformatted, because I was a kid at the time. I read in German. And so, what I remember from the book was that this fish was constantly going around getting bullied and ostracized by other people, getting pushed out of like the narrative. And I, as a kid, as an outsider, completely related to this fish. I was like, the rainbow fish was my spirit animal. I was just like, yes, this fish is me. I get it. And now sitting here being an adult, it's funny because months ago I wanted to actually buy this book because I was like, oh, it'll be like cute to revisit it, like maybe I can find it used somewhere and I can get it. I didn't go through with it. So glad I didn't, because hearing this now is insane, because I'm gonna have to reference this what I'm about to say. So I'm reading The Four Agreements right now by Miguel. Yeah, Miguel Ruiz. That's his name. And there's a part in this book that has like gotten me, and it's so evident with the rainbow fish as well. And in the book there's a saying, he states it within, I think, the first paragraph, that children are domesticated the way dogs are, that children get forced upon these beliefs and these methods of being and doing so they can get along with the rest of the world. And I think this book particularly shows this, how this is happening in childhood, where it's like you have to give all of yourself away, the things that make you feel special and good and seen within yourself, because it makes other people uncomfortable not having what you have. And in order to be liked and to be part of the gang, you have to give yourself away at the expense of yourself so everybody else can be happy and you are just, I don't know, tolerated, because they don't really like you, do they? Like anybody that likes you wouldn't ask for you to sacrifice yourself to be their friend. You know what I mean? So it's just, this is like a perfect description of that. And I loved it. I mean, I don't love it, but I think it's just horrifying how we are brainwashed as children to not see this stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody made a TikTok about it and pointed it out, because all these years I've been, oh, the rainbow fish, such good memories. Oh,
Mm.
that's my spirit animal. No, that's not something you want to align yourself with. Don't give yourself away to the point of pleasing everybody else, and then you have nothing if just crumbs of yourself left. I can't believe that that's part of a kid's book. What? What is your take on this?
A fish coming in and demanding one of your scales and then deciding to bully you for not giving it one of your scales until you give in to give your scales or to give that part of yourself. No wonder why a majority of us were people pleasers.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the feeding of giving to people what they need from you will keep them fed, which keeps you liked. You're liked as long as people are fed by what you can give them. What you can give, essentially. That's about it. Just what you can give. I just cannot believe. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I can believe it because when we were younger, the conversation that I remember was always had within what you can give and that being the priority and what people can take. But very subtly, no one would really admit that they want to take stuff from you. They wouldn't admit that, especially as children, what could you possibly do for mum and dad that they could benefit from? And if you don't do it the way mum or dad want, you're not a good child. Essentially, you're not a good person. Let's segregate you from everyone else because you're not conforming the way that we want you to conform. And that's basically what the rainbow fish is to me. It's what happens when you don't conform and you appreciate yourself as yourself. Yeah.
It's insane just because it reminds me so much of, like, when you go back and you rewatch a movie you used to like and you're like, oh my God, the sexism. Oh my God, the racism. Oh my God, this.
Yes. Oh my
You notice
God.
it. Oh,
I was watching Forgetting Sarah Marshall the other day for the first
oh,
time in a while. And
don't do it.
I did. I watched it because it's been a while since I'd watched it. And it came up on I don't know if it was Prime or Netflix, one or the other. And I watched it and I was like, I
Yeah.
really don't like this movie. I will never be watching this movie ever again. Bringing Down the House with Queen Latifah. Have you seen Bringing Down
Mm.
the House?
Oh, yes, I have. Oh, man, it's not great. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Watching that as an adult is just that is a real shocker. Being like, what? What now? What? This? Yeah. Yep. There's some movies I just cannot watch, and I will never watch ever again. I'm like, nope.
I'm telling you, the things that are out there is just insane to me. Especially what used to just pass, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of people say within comedy, because I love funny movies, right? And people are like, oh, we don't have comedy anymore because everybody is so, like, what's the word that they use?
Woke.
uh, that's one of the words, woke, but also they just don't know how to laugh or to joke anymore. And it's like, no, when you go back in time and actually rewatch, it's not everything. I will say that there are some good comedy movies back in the day, but a lot of it is just lazy because it's not funny. You're disparaging a group of people or a person, or I don't even know, about things that they don't have any control over, like skin color, for example. Like Bringing Down the House is the title, right? With Queen Latifah. There's such harmful stereotypes back then used to exist, which I can remember, of like being a black woman being loud and being aggressive and all up in your face and just snapping. And it's just like, it's ridiculous. So it's like, that's not even funny. It's just lazy. Like, how is that funny? And the same with, I've seen it with many other races of people getting thrown under the bus or mimicked. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's sad. And that's a romance movie. And oh my God, were romance movies toxic? There's one movie, which was it? The Family Stone. Don't watch it. It's with Jessica J. Parker, the one in Sex and the City. And I don't understand how this movie exists. She has an interest, like a love interest, and she meets his parents for the holidays, right? So she gets invited over to Christmas for the family dinner. Her mom, the son's mom, is an ass allegedly, and actually, I'm actually with the mom because the Sarah Jessica Parker's character was not great. She was very ignorant and problematic. So I understand the mother where she was coming from, but it was kind of set up in the stereotype of like, oh, I'm meeting the mom of my boyfriend, the man that I love for the first time. She's being mean to me. That's the narrative. The movie ends up with her falling in love with the guy's brother, and the man she's dating is falling in love with her sister, and now they're together. And then at the dinner table, they talk about how it's not great to be gay amidst one of his siblings being gay. And she's like, well, you wouldn't want to, because they want to adopt a child. And they were talking about how difficult it is. And just like, well, you wouldn't want to bring your child into a situation like that. Well, it's not good for the child. I'm watching this movie. It's literally one train wreck after the other. And I'm like, wait a minute, you date a guy, then you date his sibling, and he dates your sibling, but and you had each. I can't make it stop, Ashley.
Oh, geez. There's one other movie that I have seen a few times, and it enrages me. Oh God, it's actually, oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. 1 second.
Mhm.
You Again, that one.
Oh, you don't like that one? I love that movie.
No, it pisses me off. And I'll tell you why it pisses me off. Because she was being bullied in the worst way. And they blamed her. Blamed her. No one had her back. That movie aggravates me. Even when she showed the video at the engagement, probably could have been done in a different, like maybe pull him aside and show him the video. But even then, would he have actually listened to her? Because wasn't she trying to tell him, like when she knocked him over in the game, he didn't let her explain. Did you ever Did you ever give her a safe space to actually speak and say what's happening to her? It actually is one of those movies. Another one, because bullying seems to be the most used storyline in things. It's one of the movies that just pees me off of the injustice. When it's an injustice, it pees me off.
Yeah.
And I just think that there were so many injustices with her. It's like the movies, I can't think of one right now, but I know there are plenty that I've seen, when the actual victim is made to apologize by everyone. So the actual victim causes an upheaval, and he's like, I'm tired of everyone treating me like this. And then they play the sad music, and then the person that it was actually the victim is like, I'm so sorry, everyone. And they go, that's okay. And then they have happy family moment, and then the movie ends. And it's like, it was all good when the victim apologized. The victim had to apologize for the happy ending, not the people that perpetuated the environment, not the people that created it. And you know what's funny? It's really just depicting society. Yeah. So the real movie is everywhere.
Yeah.
Those movies, they're everywhere. But I just had to.
It's interesting because like
on the firing line.
when you mentioned You Again, I was like thinking the movie and spoiler alert, with both of the women making up as well as the mother, like they come to amends. But you're right, she is the first one to say, I'm sorry. the victim was the first one to approach her in the wedding dress while she was eating everything out of the fridge, and you're like, I'm sorry I did that. It's like, yes, the time and place was not appropriate, but at the same time, maybe it had to get to that point for anybody to be heard,
Yes,
because
exactly.
nobody was
You didn't give her
listening.
a safe space before. Exactly. So she's like, well, I'll be heard by making it at something where everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you just heard her in the first place, it wouldn't have gotten to that point. And she's sitting at the fridge going, and the excuse for her being a bully was because she lost her parents. That was the
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I stubbed my toe the other day. I didn't mean to push you off a cliff. My bad.
Speaking in reality, it's so valid to go through the emotions of losing parents if we're speaking
Yeah.
reality sense, but it does not leeway any kind of inhumanity or bullying behavior. And the movie, back to the movie, is kind of like, well, she lost her parents. So any behavior that she exhibited is validated and totally fine. And you need to get over it, even though she made a girl's time at high school a living hell. A living hell. And that girl didn't even seek revenge. She
Mhm.
had her job, she had all that. She moved on with her life, right?
Yeah.
And then she comes back into her life and she's got to cope with the revisiting of all that trauma, and no one is on her side. No one is supporting her, and no one knows because they never gave her a space back there to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I go through these analyzations when I watch movies. I sit there and I'm like, I know it's a movie, but it's also actual life. That's what the most frustrating part is. It's actually general life that this is happening.
Yeah.
That is my ending of speaking on that. That is my doneness.
Yes.
My back is killing me and I'm done.
Your
I
back
move
is
a lot
aching.
too, because that's
Sorry, go
why.
ahead.
My back is aching.
Your back is aching because you're carrying all these real life truths that you're bringing to the world. That's why you're carrying the
Heavy.
world. It's time to fight back.
Heavy. It's really heavy.
But yeah, we definitely have to do this again. Like, we definitely have a lot more to talk about and a lot more to bring up. But this was such a great conversation. I love it. And it really is just astounding how much you can see where the public is at and where society is at through movies throughout the decades. And clearly the book as well, The Rainbow Fish. Hopefully, I mean, I will say I've seen a lot better books for children being displayed nowadays about respect and boundaries and being kind to people in a healthy way. So hopefully that can continue. But like, it doesn't surprise me that I was a people pleaser now thinking about it. Wow. Mm-mm-mm.
People that understood the rainbow fish and saw it as a positive definitely were people pleasers. I can imagine all of you sitting there going, shit. Don't worry, I did. I was like, wow, I actually resonated with this book. And now I say why. And
Yeah.
I was watching her face as she's watching the video because I sent her the video and I was watching her face as she was watching it. And afterwards, she's like, no, I didn't read this book. I read a different book.
Denial.
This wasn't the book. She did. When I mentioned it to her before I sent her the video, she's like, oh, the rainbow fish. I totally resonated with that. I completely. And I'm like, no, Nina, no, no, you don't. No, take it back. Take the energy back. She's like, what? And then I sent her the video, and then now we're here.
Yeah.
She's
My
gonna
whole life has
during the
changed.
day, if you imagine her in the scenes like a movie, if she's making a tea, she's gonna be standing there mixing the cup, thinking about it.
Yeah.
Wow, this whole time. And then picture her like folding her clothes this whole time. And then
Yeah.
picture her like undoing her bed for bed. This whole time brushing her teeth. This whole time.
Absolutely. Oh,
I've done that before. I figured something out, and literally my process through the entire day is this whole time.
Mhm.
Still trying to process what I just found out.
Yeah. I'm still processing the blue song. So this is just another layer on top of that. No, but there is so much. There's so much that I could get into, which I'll leave it be. But if I may actually recommend you all a movie that very much represents reality today, but maybe in a better way to get you more disillusioned, The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. Watch that movie.
I actually thought you were going to say The Creator, but I guess that's not really reality sense.
Not yet. It's coming.
End of podcast. Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us. And
Have a
until
wonderful week.
next time.
Jingle bells. Wait when you see what we got, it smells.